So I'm here to speak mostly about Steelhead Creek and Arcade Creek. And 7 years ago, I became aware of what was happening on Steelhead Creek and started to do some photo documentary of what was happening there. So this is, I wanted to share 4 photos of what Steelhead Creek looked like downstream of the West El Camino Bridge near the Arden Garden Connector Bridge. So this is January 2018 after a flood event. And I'm thinking, where is all this stuff coming from? So you can go ahead and, Tim, if you want to advance through, and that's the Arden Garden Bridge looking upstream on Steelhead Creek. And another, you can go through this quickly if you want. That's upstream of the Arden Garden Bridge. I was appalled at how much stuff was in this creek, and it's just, I said, what could be done? So I started talking with this is in the county jurisdiction. I started talking with our county parks director of parks, Jeff Leatherman. And in fact, this is Roland Brady that was with me as we were discovering all of this stuff. And Roland, we've had meetings with him in 2018. So going forward to now, after I've wanted to share with this board 4 locations in your western corner of the American Flood Control District. And that's, as you probably recognize, is Steelhead Creek on the left there, Arden Garden Bridge down at the bottom, and then Arcade Creek going off to the upper right. And I've numbered these 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the whole creeks are affected, but I'm just kind of starting by sharing some photos in area 1, area 2, and area 3, and then area 4 in that order. So you can go forward on the first picture. So it's looking down on an area that's not in your jurisdiction. This is actually between American Flood Control District and RD 1000. But the dates are on these. So that was last year, February 2, 2024, and you can advance through these. And a few weeks later, that same area, and you can see the telephone pole and that camp. It's been there. Actually, I have the documentation going back years before that, a couple of years before that as well. Just every year, camps are there. Every year, the floods are natural. So this is April 2024. The waters have receded. People are starting to reoccupy, and you can go forward. So January of this year, the camps are well established, and there that big blue thing is larger footprint. It's really grown in size. And the waters come up and it all gets flooded again. Take a look at this picture. This one is looking at that whole area from a wider view, looking upstream on Steelhead Creek and Arcade Creek coming in at the bottom. That was January 2023. And again, I have a number of photos going back through the years. I think the next view is yesterday. This area was underwater in February, a month earlier. Another view of the same thing. This is this district's jurisdiction, I believe. And well, it's a tow your levee, but it's still, you can see all the camps on top of your levee there. Then I'm going to the area 2 now. I'm going to jump down to West El Camino, Steelhead Creek at West El Camino, looking downstream again in 2024. And you can run through these fairly quickly. And it shows 2024, the camps are coming in, and a few weeks later, you know, that area is flooded again.
Is just so I can orient myself, is that overcrossing, that road overcrossing that we see, is that West El Camino right there?
Okay. Correctly, that's West El Camino.
Looking downstream.
Yeah, so your jurisdiction is on the left side of these photos. You can see all the camps coming in here, you know, through the summer, reestablishing in the floodplain, November 26th, and then January, a few months later, January 31st, 25 this year. Flood event had already gone through here one time in November of 24. I think it was late November, but then the camps are starting to reoccupy in between the levees. And then here we are, February 5th of this year, after the February 4th rains we had. And I meant to say, well, continue on here and so that's yesterday. Camps are, and by the way, you saw how impacted the levees were earlier a month ago, and then, thanks to all your efforts, the levees have been cleared, thank you. But the people are still occupying the floodplain to reoccupy the levees, unfortunately. Go ahead forward, and this is looking upstream in January of this year, January 31st, not that long ago, and unfortunately, the black area is blocking the view on the right side of that picture that shows how many encampments, there you go, thank you.
Yeah.
How many encampments there are continuing on down that levee. And the next picture shows February 5th, after that area, all the people were in the floodplain as well, but now they're against flooded out. And the next picture is yesterday. And you can see how clear the levee with all your efforts had done, but where are the, there's so many people back down in the floodplain. We're still in March. That water can be going through there again this year as it has in the past. This week, yeah. So I believe from here, we're gonna go to area 3, which is Arcade Creek, as the caption says, Arcade Creek at Norwood Avenue. January of this year, before the rains, before the big storm we had in February 4th. So the next picture is February 5th, showing that area getting flooded. And you can continue, the next picture looks upstream from that same area. And we're going to continue on these photos, which take us upstream on Arcade Creek towards Rio Linda Boulevard. Just to be aware of, what we've been encountering as we've tried to, much work has been done to remove abandoned encampment gear to keep it from getting flowing into the creek, and doing what those first 4 pictures just showed. So we're coming up to the Sacramento Northern Bike Trail, which just above that is the Rio Linda Boulevard. This was January 12th this year, and forward. And then forward again, you can just see last year I think it was April, I went over this area, and there weren't camps here. I think there was one camp here between the 2 bridges. So the point I'm going to bring up later is there's a lot moving into your area. And this is a picture just from the bridge on Rio Linda Boulevard, looking downstream. That's the side of your levee there, that so much stuff is being brought in there. And the next, this is all the same areas I walked out across the bridge towards Arcade Creek, looking downstream towards the Sacramento Northern Bike Trail. That's it for the photos. I just threw this map at the end in case we want to get any discussions about jurisdictions.